Dune summary in 5 minutes. Dune by Frank Herbert is a science fiction epic set in a distant future where noble houses, political intrigue, religion, ecology, and warfare shape the fate of entire planets. The story centers on Paul Atreides, a young noble whose destiny becomes tied to the most valuable substance in the universe, the spice melange. The story begins when House Atreides is given control of the desert planet Arrakis, also known as Dune. Arrakis is harsh, dry, and almost uninhabitable, but it is the only source of spice, a substance that allows space travel, extends life, and enhances mental abilities. This makes Arrakis the most strategically important planet in the galaxy. Paul is the son of Duke Leto Atreides and Lady Jessica, who belongs to a powerful secretive sisterhood called the Bene Gesserit. From a young age, Paul is trained in politics, combat, and mental discipline, making him unusually capable for his age. However, Arrakis is not a peaceful assignment. The planet is previously controlled by House Harkonnen, cruel enemies of the Atreides. A political trap is set by the Emperor and the Harkonnens to destroy House Atreides due to their rising influence and popularity. The betrayal comes quickly. The Harkonnens, aided secretly by Imperial forces, launch a devastating attack on Arrakis. Duke Leto is killed, and Paul and his mother are forced to flee into the desert. This marks the collapse of House Atreides' control over the planet. Paul and Jessica are rescued by the Fremen, the native desert people of Arrakis. The Fremen have adapted to the harsh environment and possess deep knowledge of survival in the desert, including how to live alongside giant sandworms that produce spice. Among the Fremen, Paul begins to evolve both physically and spiritually. He undergoes intense training and begins experiencing prophetic visions due to his exposure to spice. These visions suggest possible futures where he becomes a powerful leader, possibly even a messianic figure. Paul learns about the Fremen's hidden strength and their long-term plan to transform Arrakis into a greener world. He also learns that they have been waiting for a prophesied leader who will guide them to freedom. As Paul integrates into Fremen society, he becomes known as Muad'Dib. He proves himself in combat, leadership, and strategic thinking, gradually rising to a position of influence among the desert tribes. His mother Jessica also plays a key role, using Bene Gesserit knowledge to guide and influence the Fremen religious beliefs. This accelerates Paul's rise as a messianic figure, although it also creates moral complexity around manipulation and prophecy. Paul's visions become stronger, showing him possible futures involving massive jihad, war, and destruction across the universe in his name. He realizes that his potential destiny could lead to both liberation and devastation. The conflict intensifies as House Harkonnen, now backed by the Emperor, attempts to maintain control over Arrakis. Paul leads the Fremen in a rebellion against both Harkonnen forces and Imperial authority. The Fremen, under Paul's leadership, become a powerful military force using desert tactics, sandworms, and knowledge of the terrain. They launch coordinated attacks that destabilize enemy control. In the final confrontation, Paul challenges the Emperor and defeats the combined forces of the Harkonnens and Imperial Sardaukar troops. He asserts control over Arrakis and becomes a new political ruler of the universe. However, Paul's victory is not purely celebratory. He realizes that his rise to power has triggered the beginning of a holy war in his name across the galaxy. Even though he wins politically, he cannot fully control the consequences of his influence. Overall, Dune is a complex science fiction novel about power, destiny, ecology, religion, and political manipulation. Frank Herbert builds a richly detailed universe where human ambition and environmental forces are deeply interconnected, creating a story about both triumph and the dangerous cost of prophecy.